with releasing Assange, and she's going to give us a few words of wisdom.
Thank you. I do have a statement I'll read from the Media and Entertainment and Arts Alliance, but I'd just like to say a few words first. I am a member of Blue Mountains for Assange. I'm also a former publisher and journalist, and I think that's one of the reasons I feel so powerfully about this. I think anyone can, of course. I was working as a journalist back in the late 70s, and then in 1984 I was in Britain and I was working on the Sheffield Morning Telegraph during the miners' strike. And that's when I first understood the power of the state. I understood the violence of the British Empire. I saw it turned against its own people, as David's spoken about, and this was with the miners. This is when the riot gear of police first emerged. It's when government media releases just became news stories, with Reuters, with the Maxwell and Murdoch papers, the paper I worked on. The truth was not being told. They were going to crush the unions. That was part of the government's plan and big business's plan. And the media, we did not have the resort. We did not have the independence. And that's really important. At that time, I and others, John Pilger was our chief editor, tried to set up a progressive tabloid paper. We raised £30 million for that. It wasn't enough. We needed about 100. The paper didn't succeed, but its intentions were to try and get some independence and some truth. We couldn't do it. But something's changed since then. It's the internet. That actually has changed everything. And it allowed brilliant people, brilliant and brave people, who didn't need £30 million or £100 to reveal the truth. Julian Assange is one of the greatest examples, the most extraordinary examples of that. What was made available to the public was once impossible. And the reason I'm talking about this is because this is why the battle is so important. What Julian has done, what Edward Snowden has done, what Manning did, these are really heroic acts, but the acts where we now have a means of getting the truth out. And it's the same with David. I mean, they would just have quietly got rid of David. It would be quiet, but social media and the internet is the fight back. So we must never forget that this is what's at stake. They want to control and terrorise anyone who is going to use and has the brilliance to do it. And of course, the truth is that the really brilliant and innovative and creative people don't want to help the CIA. They don't actually want to help these forces of power and control and of violence. And what I find so tragic is that here we are, really a nation established in violence, a colony. And we're in a place of incarceration. We're a penal colony. And somehow or other, we haven't had the guts to really shake that off. And that's what Albanese needs to do. We need to shake this off, not be part of violent state, not go from being a colony of Britain to being a colony of the USA, which is actually what is happening. But that is also why people say to me, why is this still going on? My 90-year-old mother says, how can this still be, how can Julian still be in jail? How is this possible? People who don't even fully understand. Most Australians, I think, now understand it should not be possible. But the reason it is, the reason they will break and bend every law, make up new laws, do whatever they can, is because they know that once we have true freedom of speech, once people aren't terrorised into silence, the truth about their wars, the truth about this military economy that is now running the world, that is sucking the resources away from human health and education, that truth will not be tolerated. So I thank Julian. Happy birthday to Julian. Thank you, David. Thank you, David McKeller, for your courage, for reminding us that we're more than just a bunch of colonials. We've also got people who are heroic, who are brave, and who will fight for the truth. Now, on that, I would like to read a statement from the Media and Entertainment Arts Alliance, which, as you know, have been supportive all along of Julian. This is from the Federal President, Karen Percy. Today should be a joyous occasion for Julian Assange as he celebrates his 52nd birthday. Instead, it will be yet another day of solitude and anxiety inside Belmarsh Prison, identical to the previous 1,544 since he was arrested and removed from refuge within the Ecuador Embassy in London. Rather than celebrate his birthday as most of us do, in the warm embrace of friends and family, Julian will be alone and isolated. It shouldn't be this way. Julian should be today a free man, and he could be if the government of the United States dropped the case against him. If he is found guilty of the charges against him, he will spend every future birthday in a jail cell. That is unacceptable. From day one, the Media, Entertainment and Arts Alliance has been unwavering in its support and advocacy for Julian. We support him not only because he is a card-carrying member of our union, but because his case poses a profound threat to press freedom for all journalists. Working alongside major media organisations like The Guardian and The New York Times, Julian and WikiLeaks assisted in bringing to public attention the huge toll of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, including civilian deaths and possible war crimes. That was clearly journalism in the public interest. It was for that work that in 2011 WikiLeaks received the Walkley Award for Outstanding Contribution to Journalism. And it is for this work that the US government is now seeking to prosecute Assange. A successful extradition and prosecution of Assange would be a direct threat to press freedom, curtailing free speech, criminalising journalism, and sending a clear message to future whistleblowers and publishers that they too will be punished if they step out of line. But journalism is not a crime. It is a public service that is crucial to a healthy democracy. The persecution of Julian Assange must be seen in the context that around the world, press freedom is under attack, and Australia is no different. Over the past half-decade, Australia has slid down the ranks for press freedom from 19th to 27th in 2023. The MEAA will defend press freedom whenever and wherever it is under attack. There are clear parallels between campaigns for press freedom in Australia and the opposition to the extradition and prosecution of Julian Assange in the UK and the US. They are both part of the same fight. If the democratic governments of the Western world want to demonstrate their commitment to press freedom, then the charges against Julian Assange must be dropped. So on this day, his 52nd birthday, we say to Julian, you are not alone, you are not forgotten, and we will not give up the fight for your freedom.
Thank you. That's from Karen Percy, Federal President for the MEAA.